Hey everybody, it's Mike with Writing in the Ozarks, and we got Bagger Bader in the house, and hopefully we don't have too many technical difficulties. My internet is based off of a cellular connection with T-Mobile, and it has been going up and down a little bit here as we were getting ready for the show. So if I lose you or you lose me or Steve has to talk because I'm gone, I'll explain why. So hopefully things line out here and we can get through this. The good news is, Steve, I've ordered fiber. It's now available in my area, but they have to do a build out. They have to bring the line down, the electric line to our house, and then dig it over to the house and bring it in and stuff. So it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks.
Well, buying a new house out in the country, comes with its hurdles.
It does. I knew the internet was going to be a challenge, and our T-Mobile's good most of the time, especially for just like watching TV and streaming. But live streaming with an upload can be a different beast. And then when you throw in weather, like it's starting to rain here, that can really add to it. We got Jonesy in the house. Zan is here. Yeah. Hello, fellas.
Yeah,
thanks for joining us.
Well, as long as you got Pornhub, right? I mean, that's what really matters. Oh, sorry. God, Jim, did I say that out loud? Shit.
It's motorcycle porn hub. So, anyway, we got a few people tuned in here. Looks like so. Thanks for joining us, guys. We're just going to talk a little bit about what's coming up with 2025 as we're ending up 2024 here. Christmas is coming and New Year's, and we were just talking about this. We probably won't do another live till right after the New Year. Probably, the day after New Year's or something like that. We'll try and do a live, but we're not going to try and do it on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. That's a holiday, and I don't know about Steve, but I will have things going on. We do a Frosty Balls ride on New Year's Day. Speaking of 2025 events, that will be my first event of 2025. Will be the Frosty Balls ride.
Yeah, I'm that weird, I call it the creepy uncle part of my life. I don't have much family left anymore. And so I'm kind of on my own on the holidays. And so I'll be having Christmas dinner at Beer 30, a biker bar here in Kansas, outside of Kansas City. I think this is my 4th or 5th year in a row to do it. And funny enough, some of the biker people that I ride with have jumped in, and they're typically there with me. So it's fun.
Cool. Yeah, I still have daughters and granddaughters and parents and aunts and uncles and her family and my family. So we'll have, I think my daughter's over on Christmas Eve, and then we'll go to her parents and my parents on Christmas Day and all that good stuff. But we're here to talk about motorcycles, not kids.
That's right.
So, Frosty Balls ride will be the first thing I will do here in the Central Ozarks area. If anybody's interested in that, reach out to me on social media. It's a ride that A-Bait out of Salem, Missouri puts on, and depending on the weather, determines on how many miles we ride. And I think looking like the forecast the few days coming up to New Year's Day are looking like they're high in the 50s. So unless something changes, I think we might have a chance of having a mid-50s day for the new year.
Brian's got some questions about your Frosty Balls.
So it's if you have the post for it, and it's good.
Mike, you might be freezing up on us here a little bit. This is where Bagger Bader gets paid the big bucks to keep the show alive. Brian, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think I remember him talking about doing this run last year. Jonesy's ride's coming through Missouri here on the 26th. I'm assuming you're going to be in a car and not a motorcycle. What do you, Jonesy? You got a family down in Arkansas? Jonesy, you got a family down in Arkansas? I'm hoping to get out and ride over. Cool. Over the holidays here. He's back.
Hey, am I back now?
He's back and better than ever.
All right. This is a Bates ride out of Salem, Missouri. It's January 1st. Kickstands up at noon. I will throw this image up on my YouTube community page. I'll also throw this image up for the ride on Facebook. But by it's Salem, Missouri.
You're breaking up a little bit again, but if I understood you correctly, you're going to be posting all that information on your Riding in the Ozarks Facebook page. So that's a spot where you can, find that information, guys. Why don't you guys tell us, you guys got anything going on over the holidays? Mention in remarks if you've got some kind of a cool ride set up for over Christmas and New Year's. We've got some crazy people that I know here in Kansas City that they've already had it. They had it a couple weeks ago, but they have a onesies ride, which is pretty fucking funny. Everybody orders a onesie online, and then they wear it when they go out and ride, and they ride it all around parts of the city. And of course, everybody's, laughing their asses off, and it's a pretty good time. Hey, you're real clear. So that might be a good sign.
We'll see. We'll see if it's better. I reset my internet or my Wi-Fi on the computer.
You're clear on screen and you're clear while you're speaking. So that's a good sign.
All right. So yeah, the A-Bait ride I'll throw up on my YouTube community page. If you go to my channel, there's a community tab. I'll post this image up there. It'll also be on Instagram and Facebook. If anybody wants to know more about it or wants to join us.
Cool. Ooh,
so I guess next big event besides like the Frosty Balls ride is Ann already threw it out there. Cycle Showcase, February 8th and 9th. You've already got rooms, right, Steve?
I did. Randall on his Facebook page posted a flyer. It's going to be February 8th and 9th. And of course, you and I like to get there on the 7th, which is Friday, because he usually has a little shindig that evening. And we don't want to miss a shindig. And he's got some hotel rooms blocked off at the same hotel as he had last year, which I think is the Angad Arts Hotel. He did move the venue, though. It's not going to be in that same museum space as it was last year. It's going to be at the space that he used 2 years ago. Which I thought,
Foundry.
Yeah, but the Foundry, which I kind of thought was better because they had a food court and a little bit of shopping and some cool shit, around it.
Yeah, I don't think he has much room at Foundry though, as he did at the other place. But I think it may be he's talked about it spilling over into other areas, so maybe they're accommodating some more space for him.
Yeah, I noticed that he said that as well, and hopefully that all works out for him because he's putting on a hell of a show. You talk about a guy that's exploded. He had 4 or 5 different shows last year, spread out pretty much across the United States. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Sturgis, the Lake, his show in St. Louis. I believe he had a show at Smokeout, wasn't it? Or he was involved in the Smokeout at least.
That's my understanding. Has anybody been to this? Has anybody been to Smokeout? It's in North Carolina? That's an event I definitely want to go to.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure
have
when
not
that'll
been.
happen. Yeah. Hey, anybody in the chats, have you been to Cycle Showcase, the one in St. Louis?
I know Zan's been. We've met him
Yep.
there.
Yep. And our, of course, we already know Zan, I think, enjoyed it as much as we did in visiting with him about it.
Brian, I have not seen anything published that gives me a firm date of when they're going to do the 2025 model release. What I talked about in one of my last rumor videos is I expect that to be around the third week of January, based on what they've done the last 2 years. That's generally when it's been. I expect we'll know at the beginning of January. Usually they announce it 3 or 4 weeks in advance. So unless somebody gets a hard, leak that confirms it ahead of time, that's the best I know.
Brian, I'm not going to say anything more than Mike's full of shit. He knows more than Joachim Zeitz does. This guy's he's got like spider monkeys in every fucking office building in corporate Harley Davidson's headquarters.
They've been really good on blocking the leaks this year. I mean, they haven't put any teaser videos out yet either. I expect that'll happen. I expect in January they'll do a teaser video, and they will, announce whatever their launch date is along with the teaser video. So we'll have something to talk about when that happens. Somebody did send me an interesting picture the other day, and I don't know where they got it from. Maybe I can pull it up and share it.
Brian, I'll say this. If you want to learn about the new 2025 Harley Davidsons, the smartest thing you can do is keep an eye on Riding in the Ozarks. So make sure you tune in anytime you see him on YouTube.
Okay, so I'm going to download this image because I don't want to pull up the email because I don't want to share a source that isn't interested in having that information publicly. So let's see if I can share this picture, because from someone emailed it to me, and it's pretty vague, but it's obviously not anything from the current lineup. You guys still with me?
Yep, you're here. But I'm not seeing any pictures or nothing. There we go.
Yep. So what do you spot obviously immediately?
White walls. And if that thing's got white walls, and if that's a new bike, it's a vintage bike. It's one of their what is that series they call it?
I don't know where this person got this from. I don't know that this is,
That looks like an old exhaust pipe off a bike you'd see in the 2000s, early 2000s or something.
And spoke wheels.
Spoked wheels. Looks like a Road King. Looks like my 2005 Road King is what it looks like.
You said it looks like a Road King?
Yep.
Yes, Brian, the yellow breakout with the CEO in the background that had a new breather cover. That breather cover, I didn't do a video on that picture because that picture actually came from another content creator, and I didn't want to just copy something he had put out. I didn't watch his video. I just tend to not watch his video because we cover a lot of the same stuff, and I don't want to be influenced by someone else's rumors. I don't want to get my rumors from YouTube videos. So, but I saw the yellow breakout, and what's really interesting about the yellow breakout picture, if you guys haven't seen that one, I've got that one also. We can talk about it in a second. But this has got spoke wheels, white walls. I don't know that this is a new bike, but if you can kind of see the top of the cover there, And it definitely doesn't seem to have a sissy bar or tour pack or anything like that. So, I'm thinking Road King here, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking it's probably an Icon.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. I think we have some kind of a Road King styled Icon bike.
Hey, welcome. Wagonators are in the house.
Yeah.
So,
you guys going to Cycle Showcase in St. Louis?
Yeah, somebody sent me this image, Steve, and I didn't do a video on it yet because I don't know where it came from. I don't know anything other than they sent me this, and they also sent me an image that came from Harley Davidson's website that was not something secret. It was just like a bike, the Lowrider ST with it had been unwrapped and packaging falling around it. They thought it was something different, but I don't think so. I don't think Harley would throw that on the front page of the website. It didn't really look that different, other than it doesn't have the gold wheels. So, and I can pull that one up too, but I did figure out where that one came from. So, I'll pull this other one up.
What the hell? You're going to go on a cruise? Can't blame you on that one.
Who's going on the cruise? Oh,
the Wagonators. Is it clothing optional? I know how important that is to you.
That Desert Man YouTube should be put in the naughty corner. So this was also sent to me, and this is on Harley Davidson's homepage. Like, it's a slide in one of their banner pages that slides across when you go to the website. So this isn't anything special, but somebody thought it was. They thought it was a 2025 model. I mean, there's one thing specifically I know unique about it from anything I've seen, and that's it doesn't have the gold wheels.
Yeah, it's blacked out. Maybe it's a blacked out edition, kind of like a Dark Horse,
right.
ending.
Those wheels definitely don't have the gold trim.
No.
And in the exhaust right there, those little bubbles are gold on the existing models. So, but that could be accessory parts. That doesn't have to be a new model.
No, this could be somebody's customed lowrider ST for that matter.
And I mean, but the only thing that kind of surprises me is the wheels are blacked out, but there's no blacked out wheels available in the parts and accessories catalog.
Well, I hope this is Harley Davidson's motorcycle, because if it's not, I'm going to have to bitch slap the guy that owns it that's left his reflectors on.
Yeah. Mine are still on for now.
Don't make me come down there, Michael. I'd hate to have you hurt me.
Hey, if you drive the Hoopty Mobile down, I've got an extra bagger for you to ride now.
That's true. Good point. Hey, Gigi.
If you get behind the bat wing, I mean, you might be a changed man.
I could. I've actually owned one for a couple of days. I bought one in an auction, sold it off in a couple of days to a friend of mine. It was a 17 Street Glide.
So but this image comes from Harley Davidson's website talking about Christmas. You see the wrapping laying on it. So I don't know that's worth, talking about. I don't really think it's a 2025 model. If it is, they're trying to sneak something in under our nose, but it's not anything real significant in the photo. that, let's see. Here's that other photo he's talking about with yellow breakout. Have you seen that one, Steve?
I might have. I think I know what you're referring to, but I'll know when I see it.
Well, and what's weird about this one, I mean, there's a couple things that are weird about this one to me. So,
okay, this isn't what I.
Steve says that Glow Rider ST is not as pretty as his, and that's true. It's not as pretty as his.
That is true.
That makes it a little bigger if I size it right.
There you go.
So, what's interesting about this thing, to me, what air cleaner? Do you know what air cleaner that is?
It looks like one off of a Street Glide or a Road Glide.
That's the same air cleaner that's on the new 2024 Street Glides and Road Glides for the 117. Now, the Breakout already had a 117 and hardly had that, intake that pointed forward on it.
Right.
The other thing that is different about this Breakout from the current models is black. It's got a chrome triple trees, chrome headlight housing. Looks like the handlebars are pretty well chromed out up there with controls and stuff. So, is this, I'm not getting too excited about this because I was told, and somebody I'm sure is going to tell me I'm wrong, I hear it a lot, that the dealers are being given videos or they're seeing bikes when they go to Milwaukee for the dealer meeting. But those bikes may be dressed up with accessory parts and they may not be exactly what is going to come out in the model year 25 models. And they're doing that because dealers were taking pictures and were leaking stuff. And so now by doing that, they could be wrong. So this Breakout picture here could be something that's been leaked, and that may not be the form it's going to come in. This may be what it looks like with certain accessories or dressed up a certain way. Doesn't mean that's what the stock bike is going to look like.
Yeah. And it looks like that air cleaner's chrome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a chrome version for the chrome models and they have a blackout version for black.
For some reason, it just seems brighter. I don't know.
I'm sure it's chrome. It's got chrome triple trees, chrome exhaust. So I'm sure they went with like a chrome trim. I just personally, here's what I find interesting about the air breather. So this air breather on the new Street Glides and Road Glides is supposed to flow more air, more performance, bigger, intake channels. All this stuff has been redesigned, flowing in from the air cleaner all the way into the cylinder heads and stuff. So that only reason I can think in the world anybody would put that ugly ass air cleaner on something like the Breakout, where I don't think it fits, is if it is actually running the new air intake system for the 117 that the touring models have. So, I mentioned in my rumors that I think more models of Softails are going to get the 117, hopefully with what they're now calling center cooled engine. But even if they didn't do center cooled, they could do the air intake and all that stuff that's on the new 117s into the existing 117 and probably get a little boost in performance even without doing the liquid cooling.
Was there a 103 this year?
No. 103 was a twin cam. It's been gone for a long time. 107's been
or the 107. I meant 107.
Yeah, I was going to say. There was at least in Europe, the Sport Glide still had a 107. Okay. We got rid of the Electric Glide. I think the Softail standard still has a 107. Okay. But I think that's got to go.
And even the 110, are they?
The 110 was a twin cam engine.
Okay. The 114, I meant. God, I'm smoking crap, dude.
Yeah.
The 114.
Yeah.
Are we still seeing that in a lot of bikes, or have they all kind of skipped
up to the Fat Boy, the Heritage,
the Softails,
Bob they're still all 114s.
Okay.
I think the Ultra with the older body style, the 2024 Ultras, I think are all still 114s. The Trikes, I think, are still 114s.
Okay. Well, that's obviously going to be a big talking point when these new bikes come out sometime next year.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian asked about radiator, and you can't see it in this video picture, and I sure don't see anything anywhere near the size of the radiator and oil cooler that's on the touring models. Now, they might have done something smaller, and it might be wedged between those down tubes in the frame, kind of like the Sport Glide had and stuff.
Right.
But, because they don't figure you're going to run this bike 700 miles in a day. But that's kind of, Firecracker runs hers just as far as I run mine. She clocks mile for mile with me on a Softail. So.
But that's because she's a badass.
Better ass than me. I need a bagger to do 700 miles in a day, and she does it on a Softail. So
yeah, I know it.
I'm giving her props where she earns them.
Damn right. She can ride too. She's not just back there looking pretty.
She's a good rider. He's really come a long way since she got that bike.
Yep.
So those are like pictures people have sent me, but two of those, one came from a YouTuber, one came off Harley Davidson's website. I don't know where the other came from, and I'm leery about doing videos on them when I have no idea what the source is at all. If somebody says, "Oh, I took this picture at my dealer's computer when he wasn't looking," then that's one thing. But when somebody just sends me an image and doesn't say where they got it, I don't want to take and do a video on it to find out it's somebody else's video that they grabbed a screenshot out of or took a picture of.
Well, and then with your connections that you have, that are very reliable, it's hard pressed to think that someone's going to come out with some information before you hear from those people.
Oh, it happens. I'm not going to say that nobody else is going to get a leak before me. When I leaked the Road Glide 3, it was given to me and one other content creator, and the other content creator said, "No, this isn't coming." And they gave it to me as a second person. They gave it to somebody else first who was not interested in doing a video on it. So,
snooze, you lose, baby.
Well, either that or they knew it was coming and they didn't feel they could do a video on it without getting in trouble because they had inside knowledge. So. Hey, it's Bob and Tam. How are you guys tonight?
They just did a good video.
Am I still here, Steve, or am I cutting out?
No, you're still good. Good on my end. They just did a good video on Sturgis and kind of campground availabilities. This 85th is going to be a monster. I'm already working on my reservations. I don't know. Have you started your process yet, Mike?
We're staying in a camper, and that person who we're staying with has already got their campsite. We just got to buy wristbands.
Cool.
We will be at kickstands.
Oh, man, I've heard great things about kickstands.
Well, I guess we'll find out. But, yep, that's where we're camping. So I don't know if I'm going to try and do a meetup there one night when they have somebody good playing at the bar or not or what. I think the bar is, accessible, without being a camper there. But I don't know how that all works.
One of my
Omaha buds. You have to pay.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, Bob and Tam price is still $250. Buy soon, right after Christmas. As soon as I got Christmas shopping done, then I can do it. Well, Wagonators, a bunch of people we're going to be at kickstands also this year. We have friends getting married this year. That's who we're camping with and stuff. So there's going to be a crew coming with me again this year.
A little.
I should say I'm coming with them.
Are they going to kind of follow your lead from 2 years ago?
They've already got a venue picked out where there'll be buffalo in the background and all kinds of stuff there. So
wow, they ain't messing around.
Kickstands is crowded in the evening. Good afternoon there. Well, we'll just have to see. I don't, maybe I'm not too worried about if I do a meetup there or not. Particularly, we'll just see.
Yeah, my buddy likes to party, and he said that the bands they have out there at Kickstands or Kickstart's pretty damn good.
I know Jasmine Kane was playing there and some other people, and we didn't make it there last time, but
yeah,
we're gonna be there this year. So one way or the other.
Sweet. I'm working on something in Deadwood that I've done 2 or 3 years in the past. So hopefully that all works out.
I had a calendar out here. I don't know where it went. Hang on. That's what my year's looking like.
Woo! Busy.
The oranger things were probably, for sure doing, except for maybe one of them. And it's not all that terrible, but we've got, Cycle Showcase in February. I got something else in February. We're not doing Daytona this year. So Brian says I'm just north of Tulsa. So yeah, Brian, here I'll kind of run through some of what we have on our agenda. In March, we don't have a lot going on. I know there's some bike shows, like the Donnie Smith show is sometime after Cycle Showcase. Do you have the dates for that, Steve?
Yeah, Donnie is March 29th and 30th.
So something like that, if things are going well, maybe we can slip away and go to that. When's Mama Tried? It's a couple weeks after Cycle Showcase, isn't it? Like the end of February?
Mama Tried, I've got is, well, hold on. Shit, this is an old date. Let me see if I can get the 2025. Oh, here we go. February 22nd through the 23rd. Of this coming year, 2025.
Okay. So I don't know if we'll get any of those shows in. We might get one of those shows in. I'd like to do Mama Tried, but I just don't know if I can make that work yet. But come April, we're doing Spring Fling.
Yep.
The dates on that are April 23rd to the 27th.
I'm already booked, ready to roll.
And that's, Bob and Tam, if you know somebody there at Kickstands that does something with content creator, you might tell them to reach out to me. I tried to reach out to them on social media and I didn't get a response to let them know I was going to be staying there. And they, Facebook, who knows who's reading it or who's doing the posts and stuff. Yeah. But, we are not doing the Steel Horse Rally this year. It's the same weekend as International Female Ride Day. And last year we did the Female Ride Day from the Switchback down to the Steel Horse Rally. But that's a pretty good haul home for us from there. And it was a good time. But I think we're going to do something a little closer to home, a little more focused on International Female Ride Day. There'll be information coming about that, but probably I think we're going to try and do something in conjunction with Renegade Harley Davidson that weekend for International Female Ride Day, and that's May 3rd. May 8th, I'm going to do something. I don't know about the rest of you suckers that have to work, but I'm off that day. So right in the middle of the week, May 8th on a Thursday, I'm going to take off and go ride motorcycles all day. We usually try and do a 300 or 400 mile ride. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to do something that day. I got planned that. And then end of May is possibly still the Mid-America Freedom Rally, our rally we have down here. It's since I stepped away, there's been some issues with people getting everything figured out. We got new people involved, and they're still trying to make that happen, but they're having a little bit of a struggle and they're a little behind. So I'm not 100% sure if the Freedom Rally is going to happen or not.
Oh, shit. Hey,
July.
I got something for you that you might be interested in.
What's that?
As some of you may know out there, I've been having some legal issues. All those have been resolved, and I've got my passport, I've got my driver's license, and I want to take a 3-day run up to Winnipeg, Canada, straight up 29 highway, haul ass all the way up there, spend a day hanging out, seeing whatever the hell's up there to do, and then ride back. Gonna take
When are
some
you going to try
balls,
and do
do this
that?
one. Huh? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe a 3-day weekend, Memorial Day, something.
Well, the Freedom Rally is Memorial Day for us, so if they have
Yeah, I
rallies going
know.
on, then
So,
I'll be there. I'll be there doing bike games and all that stuff. So I have to wait and see if it's happening or not.
well, I'll keep you posted on that. I think that'd be fun.
So yeah, PCB Thunder Beach rallies same weekend as Spring Fling, huh? Well, I know we'll be doing Spring Fling. It's close for us. It's home. So we are planning to try and go to Milwaukee to the homecoming rally this year. We kind of wanted to go last year, but then with buying the house, that didn't work out and everything else, and we were saving money. So I think this year we're going to try and make Harley Davidson's homecoming rally in Milwaukee in July, and then we'll have about 2 weeks, and then we'll head to Sturgis.
Now, Mike, you did that 2 years ago, didn't you?
We didn't do
Milwaukee?
homecoming. We never made homecoming.
You've never done. Okay, I did it in on the anniversary, the 115th in 2018, and of course now they've blown it up. They got a lot more going on, I think now. But yeah, that would be cool. And have they mentioned who's going to be performing there? Usually, I think last year they had that out pretty early.
Yeah, they had Jelly Roll and several others.
Yeah,
I have not heard
Green
anything
Day.
yet, but when I hear, I will let you know. Hey, my buddy Jamie's in there from Bucyrus, Missouri, where the men are men and the sheep are scared. That's the rest. So after Sturgis, of course, we're talking about the Dice Run back in Eureka Springs, Switchback Bar. That takes place on Labor Day weekend. We really enjoy going and doing that. We get a casual weekend to ride down, go do a long ride on Sunday and ride back on Monday. Then middle of September, we're into Bike Fest. Now, I have not seen any dates for Adams K River this year. He was talking about moving it back to the fall, last I heard. But now Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue and all this stuff's a mess because they've moved Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue to October 1st through the 4th. We're going to try and go to that, but I think we're going to try and do like Thursday, Friday at Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, and Saturday morning we will probably head to Springfield because Renegade has a breast cancer awareness ride, and we really wanted to do that. Last year we missed it. We'd already kind of made plans to go to it next year before these dates changed. And then that Sunday's the Rat Run. So we're thinking Thursday, Friday in Arkansas, Saturday in Springfield, and Sunday in St. Louis for the Rat Run.
Damn, that sounds like.
Did I cut out there again?
No, you're doing okay.
Okay.
That sounds like a hell of a freaking weekend, man.
Yeah,
Gonna
that'll
cover
be a
some
big
miles. One. Yeah.
And then if we can make it happen, we're going to try and go to Born Free, Texas in the middle of October. I really wanted to go to that last year. And like I said, with buying the house and everything going on, we just couldn't make that all happen and had too much going on. And then I bought the bike about that same time as it was going on. So we're going to try and make up for a few things this next year.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do. I've heard mixed reviews. I think they're struggling a little bit getting traction on that event. Now, of course, if you're comparing it to the one in California, I mean, the California one's a special event.
Right. But, it's going to take time to grow.
Yeah. They've got a great name behind it. Sounds like the people that are involved in it are committed to making it succeed. So I doubt if I make it to that event, but man, I'd love to hear what you have to say about it if you go.
Well, Wagonators say that the K River rally is October 9th to the 12th.
Oh, okay.
So that would be the weekend after BBB. So,
which is what
I hadn't seen anything announced by it yet. Yeah. No, he's been doing the first weekend in October.
Okay. Okay.
Which would actually be the same weekend as BBB.
Okay. I knew it was in there somewhere.
Well, we're going to spend 4 days at Bike Fest next year. We did this year. I mean, I don't know. We may, depending on how things are going vacation time, we may go up Wednesday night and stuff, or Wednesday afternoon, take off a little early. Bike Fest has really been growing and ramping up, been busy early. Weather was great last year. They had a good turnout early. It was hopping. Woody from the Buffalo Chip was in town and did like a charity ride, did the bike show. The flat track race, I've already heard, is announced. It's coming back to the Lake of the Ozarks next year. So we still have a flat track race. So
yeah, I mean, I know we brag about Bike Fest more than probably people want to listen, but man, I'm telling you, besides Sturgis, that's the most bike rally event that I attend.
They don't have as many big vendors yet as BBB, but BBB's been shrinking for big vendors.
Yeah.
And the crowd's been shrinking, and if the crowd goes away, vendors will go away.
Yeah.
So,
no, I think Bike Fest is going to overtake Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue.
They're definitely, the community, I think, is pulling together more toward it. And I think you definitely, if you're looking for a town that you can party in, Lake of the Ozarks will accommodate that. Camden on the Lake, what they're doing over at Papa Chubby's, building a campground, stuff growing on the west side. I think it's, it's definitely all moving in the right direction for it.
Yeah, and they're putting in that amusement park right there off the bridge. And I can't remember, is that going to have a casino?
No, and as I understand it, so there was a vote this year in the election in Missouri related to the casino, and it didn't pass. But I don't know if that blocks the casino. I think that had to do more with licensing the casino and being able to collect tax revenue, because the casino's is supposed to be on Indian land. So I don't know how they're going to be able to do that.
I was talking to Galen in Sturgis, one of the guys from Two-Lane Life, and mentioned where I was from and mentioned Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue and Bike Fest. And he said that they are going to make an asserted effort to come out for that they've heard a lot of good things. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to get some of the folks from Harley to stop by and ride the Ozarks with me.
You know what? They need to.
I told Brad Richards if he's coming through and if he'll go ride with me for a day, I'll take a day off work to show him around.
Now, hey, hold on a minute. Mike. If he shows up, you got to take it easy on him, okay? He's probably not used to taking them turns at 90 miles an hour, okay? You're going to have to slow down a little bit.
I think Brad probably be able to hold his own all right.
Yeah, he's probably seen a turn or two.
So, Barber Motorcycle Museum in Birmingham to watch the King of the Baggers run for the first weekend of April.
Sweet.
I'm trying to think. First weekend of April, I don't have anything going on, but that's Arizona Bike Week.
And I will be at Arizona Bike Week.
I figured you would be.
Yes.
I don't think we'll be able to make that one this year. I think we're going to try and do Homecoming and Born Free this year. We wanted to do Deals Gap in that area for like a whole week, but with all the rain and everything else, I'm thinking we'll just let that whole part of the country rebuild for a year. kind of get back in shape.
Yeah.
I've heard some of the roads aren't bad, but just businesses and everything in general has been, tough. And I'm sure they need the tourism, but I don't want to go spend a week and find out that, things are closed here and there, or there's detours or things like that.
Yeah. Well, you need to keep Arizona Bike Week open in the upcoming years so I can get your ass out there.
I think 2025 would be a perfect year to go to Arizona. Go do Arizona and Deals Gap that year, because we won't be doing Sturgis that year. We try and skip. I can't afford to do it every year and do all these other things.
Me too. Plus, there's a bunch of other shit I want to do. I mean, I still haven't made it out to the Blue Ridge Mountains. I still got to do the tail. Get some tail while I'm doing the tail.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. 2025 is go do Arizona Bike Week and go back and do Tail of the Dragon in that area and spend 3 or 4 days riding out there. Mr. Bowman's in the chat. He said kind of the same thing. He's been wanting to go back.
Yep.
To Eastern Tennessee, but might wait till 2026.
2026, I'm gonna do I'm gonna make my way out to California, and I'm doing Highway 1. That will happen.
Well, yeah, 2025 we're gonna do Sturgis and the Born Free Texas. It'd be 2026 before we could do Arizona Bike Week or something else.
Yeah. Why do we have to have jobs and pay for bills and shit? Why can't we just go ride?
I'm telling you, because I ain't won that Powerball yet.
My God, if I win that son of a bitch.
What's the first thing you're going to buy?
Harley Davidson's going to love me. Besides hookers and cocaine?
Yeah, what's the first thing on 2 wheels you're going to buy?
Oh, God, no. I'll probably go CVO. I'll probably get a CVO Road Glide.
Go deep, huh? CVO all the way.
Oh, shit. And I'm going to bore that son of a bitch out, put a stage 5 in it, 135 crate motor. I'm just going to get nasty.
Well,
how about you?
Why not just buy a standard if you're going to swap the motor out? Because the biggest thing you get with the CVO now, besides maybe a different paint scheme, is 121.
Yeah.
Inverted front forks, but I bet you could buy a 135 and inverted front forks and custom paint one for less than you could buy.
Yeah.
Than buying a CVO and putting a 135 in it. All right, Zan. What are you buying if you win the lottery? Everybody throw your answer in the chat. If you won the lottery, what was the first 2-wheel vehicle you'll buy?
Now, Zan's a Christian man, so he's probably not going with the cocaine and the hookers. I'm just saying. I don't see him going that route. That's okay.
He might buy a case of beer or some whiskey. That's not, there's a lot of Baptists that drink.
Yeah.
Catholics. There's no sin in that. David said.
David, I was thinking the same thing, man. I'm buying Black Hills Harley Davidson. I'm probably buying one out in LA somewhere. Buy the one in Daytona. I did see
CVO
in the
Street
news
Glide, CVO Road Glide, Road Glide 3.
I did
Onyx
see some
White
bad
Road
news.
Glide.
Saw some bad news.
How about the dealership in Minnesota?
The Kacklemeyer family, they've owned a Harley Davidson dealership for 73 years in Duluth, Minnesota. They are closing their doors. So hate to see that.
There's been a couple others. Dude, they're not the only one.
I hate it.
That was talked about. That was talked about at the July business update that they were going to be closing some more.
Yeah.
Bowman would buy a 2025 Ducati Hyper Motard. Will that get you over your 200 mile an hour?
I'm not afraid to go 200 as long as it's straight.
Well, Bowman's working on it. Did you end up getting to do that drag race in Arkansas, Mike? He was going to try and do a long drag and break a record for a speed record for himself, anyway.
Speaking of speed racetracks, you need to work your magic down there at the lake and see if they can come up with some kind of way we can get on that road course, Lake of the Ozarks Raceway. That'd be fun. You know, they tried to do that for spring fling. They did do it.
Yeah, they took him out for a ride on. Bowman's been on it.
Bowman's been on it? God damn it, Bowman.
He knows people.
Apparently so.
Of course, he lives at the lake too.
God damn. Next time, share a little news like that.
I don't know if he's been on the bike or in the Corvette, but he's been on it.
I'll take either
he
one.
Can tell us more. Steve, you know, if I won the lottery, I don't know what my next Harley Davidson would be off the top of my head.
Well, I mean, you just got kind of the dream bike. Would you just kind of make it yours, put some inverted forks on it?
It might get a 135.
Oh, yeah, it would.
I don't know. I mean, a CVO. I don't know that a CVO, because if I was going to do a build, I'd do a 135. So I don't know if the CVO makes sense. But I do like the inverted front suspension. But, you know, there's aftermarket solutions for that as well.
Okay, so here's what I would do. I would have someone make me an aluminum frame, and then I would carbon all my parts, and I make that son of a bitch as light as I could. I put a 135 in it, stage it out, and make that
see
thing.
See if you can't twist the frame when you.
And of course, I got to put a fast turbo in it. I mean, that thing, I'm going to be hauling some balls. I think that's what I'm doing.
Well, one of us dropped. We're having problems.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it's me or Steve.
I'm still here on my end.
On my end, you were freezing up, but that could be my end.
Okay. You've been crystal clear ever since you did your last whatever you did to your computer.
Well, so those are kind of my events. When we get this stuff a little more formalized, I'll be putting it on social media. I'm also, I've got a website. I need to get better about putting stuff on there, but I'll try and put my events on there as well. You know, because there's some people that do YouTube that don't do Instagram or Facebook, and so they need a place to find that information. I've had people ask about that in the past.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm doing everything you're doing, except I'm going to add Arizona Bike Week on there.
And you're not doing Born Free.
No, some of that stuff I'm not going to do that you're doing, but I'm, Sturgis, Bike Fest, Spring Fling. I've talked about maybe not doing Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, which I know, crazy as hell. Been there every year since 13. I'll probably end up doing it.
I know. So Bowman says he's been on the track in a vet and on the bike. And Carl Cook says he's got rides set up again during Bike Fest next year. Last year during Bike Fest, they did them like on the very first day or something like that. So you had to be at Bike Fest early for that. So Marison, see how that goes.
Is Mike the guy that has some interest in the down there at the Harley Davidson dealership? Or am I got the wrong guy?
So I'm just lost you for a minute and I'm back. So what was that question?
Yeah, I was just saying, is Mike the one that's got something to do with Harley Davidson down there at the Lake of the Ozarks, or is that a different guy?
No, that's a different guy. Mike is rides a Ducati.
Okay.
So he rides he has two Ducatis. He rides with us. He did the run with us. First time we met him was on the Switchback when he went with us on a poker run and
Okay.
stuff. That was the first time we rode with him and stuff. But he's a good friend
have
of
I met
ours.
you,
Goes
Mike?
to the ISO.
Have I ever met him?
I don't know if you've met him or not. He's around at Bike Fest and has been at things, and he goes to Eureka Springs a lot.
Well, I know he's in the chats a lot, which is cool, and we appreciate. All right. Well, hopefully I'll catch up with you, Mike.
Mike's tall and skinny, unlike me, who's short and fat.
Man, we ain't gonna have a whole lot in common there, brother. You could say I have a slight weight problem. That's all right.
Yeah.
Good with it.
All right, guys. Was there any other questions? Anything anybody got in the chat before we sign off tonight? We're pushing at an hour here, and I've got some videos to edit and some stuff to do. And
Dan's saying that sometimes he can be a little naughty, I think, is what he's saying there.
Zan,
good for you, brother.
I can't say publicly that I've ever experienced him having a tilted halo, but I'll take his word for it.
You know, I could see that. He's a red-blooded American. You know.
So I have one other piece of news, Steve, that I'm going to do a video on, but I don't know how many people have seen it or heard it or interested in it. Have you seen the ruling from the EU on Harley Davidson and charging an increased tariff on them?
No.
So prior to like 2018, the EU charged like a 6% tariff.
Okay.
And then we got into this tariff war thing with Trump and all that, and retaliatory tariffs. And they bumped it to 31%, and we're planning to go to over 50% tariff on Harley Davidsons. So there was, I guess a case, an appeal kind of process and everything else where Harley is trying to, get them to not do that. And, there's rules about why and how on these tariffs and where it's imported from, because basically the bikes sold in Europe come from the Thailand plant that they built in 2018. And unfortunately, when Harley Davidson built that plant, in their SEC filings, they said that they were building that plant to help avoid the increased tariff costs. Well, the EU says if you're doing it just to avoid tariffs, then we're still going to tax you. If you're doing it for other economical reasons, blah, 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 not just to get around this tax, then, maybe that's legal. But now, so the ruling came down that's based on what they put in their SEC filings and stuff, that they acknowledged they were doing this just to avoid tariffs. So they're not exempt for the tariffs. They're going to charge them the tariffs even if the bikes are made in Thailand. So that's not good news for Harley Davidson. And, people don't know, like some countries like India have like 100% tariff already. Everybody says, well, why don't they do this and why don't they do that? But they don't understand. India doesn't want Harley Davidson in India. They want Royal Enfield to succeed. They don't want competition, even if it's, and so they're going to, not that Harley Davidson is not already more expensive, but they're going to make it a lot more expensive. So there's a lot of battles they have to fight in these foreign markets already, and this ruling does not help things at all.
Well, Trump in my opinion, has been more advantageous. You know, he's. I believe that he truly wants American corporations to succeed. So even though the Europe's hitting them with this tariff, hopefully, Trump can step in and throw a little fear or something at them and get them to play nice.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to work out. I mean, there were some videos I saw and some articles talking about how the tariffs with Trump coming in are going to affect them, and it could be bad for them, and because he'll start a tariff war. But what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of these countries were already charging us tariffs on our products, but we weren't charging them tariffs. And they said that, well, Europe did retaliatory tariffs. Well, how about you look at it as we did retaliatory tariffs because they were already charging us tariffs.
I got in a big argument in my office over this. You know, a tariff can be a bargaining chip. You know, it's a way to wage a war without, killing people.
Right. And unfortunately, what people don't understand is a lot of these countries are already charging us tariffs already. Yeah. As I understand it, there is no tariffs on motorcycles imported into the U.S. for other brands, but all these other countries charge a tariff to Harley Davidson, a lot of them. So that's why the Thailand plan exists and the purpose of it. And I don't know that this ruling from the EU is going to affect them in any other region outside of the EU, but it does not, it doesn't help them by no means.
No. Well, hopefully we can put some pressure on them and stop that tariff, and Harley can continue to prosper.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be, it's tough for people who haven't paid attention. KTM is in basically like in a restructuring, bankruptcy mode because they've just about sunk. They're in dire straits.
Really?
Fired 4 of the 6 board members, laid off all kinds of people. Oh yeah, it's been like it happened in a 2-week period that it was announced they were in trouble, they needed funding, and then they were in restructuring, which is kind of like a bankruptcy 11 thing that we would have in the U.S. They call it something different over there.
I'm out of that off-road world. I know you're still in it. KTM, though, my understanding is, they're one of the big players in that industry, right? So if they're hurting,
but they're not just off-road. KTM is not just off-road. They have street bikes that, the Duke is a sport bike, and
right.
They have adventure bikes too, but they have street bikes too.
That's their bread and butter, though, right?
They're like, well, I don't know. I can't say that I know for sure. I know big in the adventuring market and racing. They make some street bikes too. They did a video once about a KTM that was, there's some designer builder brand that's like handcrafted stuff that was like, $100,000 SUV or something, package from this company, what would be a $40,000 SUV. But it was, when this company touches it, they do all this stuff to it. And there was a KTM branded one, with this company, a collaboration and stuff.
And KTM
is are in bad shape. KTM's not American; they're European. Okay, they own a chunk of MV. They own a chunk of MV Augusta, which he said they just dropped their support for. They own Gas, I think, which is more of a scooter brand, and they own Husqvarna. The Husqvarna dirt bikes and stuff are owned by them. So yeah, it's a big deal.
Okay. I remember when I was a kid, there was a couple Husqvarnas in my hometown, and they just looked cool and they sounded cool. I always wanted to get a Husqvarna. Had to stick to my Kawasaki.
Two-wheel boomer. Hey, man, what's up? We're kind of wrapping up for the night. Late to the show, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we've actually been on longer than we planned on, but goddamn, we're having a good time.
Well, my cup is almost empty, which means it's almost time to go. I was trying to
True.
drink it before all the ice melted, but my wife is complaining about those hand wash cups that I drink out of that won't go in the dishwasher. So I'm drinking
Hey,
out of a nice cheap Dickies barbecue cup tonight.
there you go.
The nice thing about it is it's big.
Yes.
It's called the Big Yellow Cup.
That's some marketing there. Damn.
I need to
Wonder
do
how
some
long it took
Christmas
to come up
present
with that
wrapping.
concept. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're good. I said I need to do some Christmas present wrapping. Two Wheels been wrapping presents. My wife's wrapped some of them. I've got a stack over here, a small stack that I've got to wrap for my daughter and for her. So,
Boomer, I'm assuming you're Oklahomian. It's my guess. I might be buying a truck tomorrow.
yeah.
You know what that means.
Are you trading the Hoopty Mobile in?
No,
Says no, he's just old.
I'm gonna keep it. Too many sentimental value, I gotta
You
keep
keep
that
the
bad boy.
Hoopty for when you need to go out and like park at the mall and get door dinged.
Yeah. Scrape the undercarriage on St. Louis streets.
Yeah, we can do that.
We've done it.
Okies are Sooners, not Boomers.
That is true. Boomer Sooner. That's kind of their chant. That's why. That's why I was guessing.
Oh, you'd know Kansas, man.
Yeah, you got to remember, growing up in Kansas all my life, most everyone was either a Oklahoma Sooner football fan or a Cornhusker fan because we didn't have football.
Well, you know, I can't say that I'm a Huskers fan, but my daughter does go to the University of Nebraska.
That's true. You have a vested interest.
And I went up to visit her a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if I told you about this, Steve, but okay, I'm not sure if I'm still here. Can you guys hear me, or am I out again?
You're good on my end.
Am I back?
Yep.
You back?
You've been here all along.
Somebody back? Okay. All right. Well, I lost you. You completely disappeared and came back, so I didn't know if it was me or you. But they had a motorcycle at the dealership there in Nebraska, painted in the Huskers paint job. So I've got it on my phone here. I took a picture of it. I thought it was
Does it run on ethanol?
You can see it very well. But,
oh yeah.
Big N on it, red and white.
And of course, we all know the N stands for knowledge.
You got the kind of the seat. If I get to see it, it's kind of like a football.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
Fenced in with the Nebraska N on it.
That's pretty slick.
I mean, if you're a Cornhusker guy, it's pretty cool. I mean, they even got white on the transmission faceplate and stuff, and red on the one of the covers, and it's all done up red and white, pretty solid, pretty good job.
Two-wheel boomers from New England. Two sisters live in Connecticut, just outside of Hartford, which is why I spend Christmas by myself at a biker bar. And I'm okay with that.
Well, Steve's in Vermont. If he's still with us, I don't know if he's still tuned in, but he went home to visit. All right. Well, fellas, I think we're winding down here. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight and visiting with us and hanging out. And we'll try and do it again as soon as the new year gets here. And I think we'll have some interesting stuff to talk about in the next 2 weeks. I expect things to happen. I expect we'll hear more stuff or have more rumors or maybe see some models, something. I don't know. So
if I understand you correctly,
thank everybody for joining us tonight, and y'all stay safe. Get out of here.
Now you're breaking up. Good time to head out. Peace, everybody.